Hey guys, if you haven't heard, the Creator Clash is back. Now in the past, I have not exactly been the biggest fan of Creator Clash, but this year I think they're actually doing much better than they have in the past. But we'll get into that a different time. Today, we're going to be looking at who's actually fighting in the Creator Clash 3, and whether or not the lineup is star-studded or just a whole bunch of mega lols. And spoiler alert, I think this year they actually did kind of okay. I mean, there are some people that I don't know who they are, but I think for the most part, this is a much better lineup than anyone expected them to get. So let's talk about that. For context, we have to look at the last Creator Clash 2, and it did not do very well. In fact, iDubbbz ended up losing money on it, and it became a huge scandal for everybody involved. However, it seems like iDubbbz is actually taking steps this year to make sure that that doesn't happen. And that's good, because the Creator Clash 2 was a disaster. So let's talk about that. But before we get into the actual fighters, I have to give you some context. The last Creator Clash event, Creator Clash 2, was a pretty big failure. I'm sorry, there's no other way to put it. iDubbbz lost upwards of $200,000 on the event, and he ended up having to do charity live streams afterwards to ensure that the charities did get money, which, credit to him, he did do, and he did actually end up giving them some money, but it was kind of a scandal. A really big scandal, and I criticized him a lot for it back in the day. And because of that, people were questioning how he could get anybody that anybody actually knew about to want to compete in this year's Creator Clash 3. But somehow it seems like he's done it. I mean, there are a few people who I don't know who they are. I'm not exactly up to date with the Zoomer culture, but for the most part, it seems like there are a few people who are there just to fill out the card. But I think overall, it's a pretty good lineup. For instance, let's start off with the biggest matchup that I see on here, iDubbbz versus Sapnap. Now, if you don't know who iDubbbz and Sapnap are, they are Minecraft YouTubers. It might be a little weird for me telling you that the biggest fight at Creator Clash, in my opinion, is going to be the fight between two Minecraft YouTubers, especially because Minecraft YouTubers aren't exactly known for having the best physical attributes. I mean, iDubbbz, he doesn't exactly strike me as a boxer. No offense to him. I mean, he's a Minecraft YouTuber. He's making more money than anybody I know will ever make in their lives. And same goes for Sapnap. Although Sapnap does look like he's in a little better shape. The point is, these are two huge creators. iDubbbz's got almost 3 million subscribers, and Sapnap's got almost 5 million. He's at 4.5 million subscribers. And I think that that is just so big compared to everybody else in the card. I genuinely think that iDubbbz versus Sapnap is the biggest event on this card. And I actually think that iDubbbz did a really good job in getting them because they will bring a rabid audience with them. I don't know if you know anything about Minecraft channels, but their audience tends to be absolutely rabid, and they'll go after anything that they do. They'll support them in whatever. So I think that it's a pretty good move to get some Minecraft YouTubers involved. Now, whether or not it will actually end up with good boxing, that's anybody's guess. For the second matchup, we've got the first of the more questionable casting decisions here. Two people who I had absolutely no idea who they were before this. Lena Ayad and Funky Frogbait. Now, if you're asking who those people are, you're not alone, because I had no idea who Lena Ayad was before I made this video. And to be honest, I'm still not exactly sure who she is. She does have a channel, and it only has 4.5 thousand subscribers. Now, you might be asking yourself, how does somebody with only 4,500 subscribers get into the Creator Clash 3? And it's a very good question, but she's not the one with the lowest subscriber count fighting this year. However, there is a logical reason why she's fighting. She does also stream on Twitch under the name Lena Starkiller, as far as I can tell, and she's got 21,000 followers on here, so that's a little better. But she's also, apparently, from my research, I found that she is married to AB from the H3H3 podcast, which makes sense because I don't know what you guys know about iDubbbz in the past couple of years, but he's kind of changed up his content and he's gone a little bit to the left. So it makes sense that he's friends with H3H3 and the people who run the H3H3 podcast, because it's a very left-leaning podcast. So that's, I guess, why she's fighting in this, because he knows her and she's a friend. You know, maybe they were having trouble filling out the card. Also, at the same time, who doesn't like watching a girl fight? Which brings us to the second person in this fight, Funky Frogbait. Now, I had also never heard of her. However, that's clearly a me problem because she has 2.5 million subscribers. She makes content that seems to be like earthy, crunchy commentary for millennial women. And that's the best way I can describe it. It doesn't seem like it's anything bad. In fact, it actually seems pretty popular. I mean, she's getting millions of views every video she puts up, so she must be pretty good. I'm just not exactly her target demographic, and I think that's fine. Again, she's a pretty good pull for the Creator Clash card. I think that this is actually a really good type of person for them to get involved because she's going to bring a whole different audience. Now, whether or not the millennial women who watch these kind of videos are going to be into boxing, I don't know. It kind of seems like you'd want to appeal to a woman with a more male audience because men tend to be the ones who go out and watch boxing events, but that's just my 2 cents. The next fight that Creator Clash 3 is having is between LABeast and Harley Morenstein. Now, if you don't know who they are, LABeast is kind of one of the OG YouTubers. Like, he's been on the platform for a very long time. He used to do videos, and it looks like he still does, where he just ate absurd amounts of of stuff. So if we go back to his oldest videos, you'll see he has stuff like eating a 3-pound burger, the longest burp ever, epic burp compilation. It's just, you know, stuff from like 2010, 2011 YouTube. He's an interesting person for them to get involved because he's not exactly like the other people. So far, we've had people who are either friends of iDubbbz or big content creators. But LABeast, he's kind of just a relic. No offense to him, I respect him entirely. I think that he was an incredible early YouTuber. But while LABeast has 3.15 million subscribers, he's not exactly the kind of person that I would assume iDubbbz would still be in contact with. The kind of stuff that LABeast does actually goes back to what old iDubbbz did. It reminds me of iDubbbz's old sense of humor. Now, if you don't remember, back in the day, iDubbbz used to do not exactly the same types of videos as LABeast, where people watch LABeast kind of because they want to see what happens if they eat something, for instance, the Black Death Mega Sour ball, but they don't want to have to feel the pain themselves and they want to be able to feel his pain empathically. Back in the day, iDubbbz used to do something similar where he would open packages from random people and God knows what would be inside, and he would suffer and people would watch him and enjoy his suffering, but like in an empathetic kind of way. He's also very funny. That's LABeast for you. So that's why I think LABeast is in the lineup. I think it's kind of a throwback to iDubbbz's old fans. What do you think? Now that I've been going on for LABeast for so long, he is fighting Harley Morenstein. Now, if you don't know who Harley is, he is one of the hosts of Epic Mealtime, which is a 6.7 million subscriber channel. So don't let his 267,000 subscribers fool you. He's actually very well known. And during the Creator Clash 2, all of the drama surrounding Froggy Fresh, Harley was there for iDubbbz. He had him backed up. It was crazy. He's like iDubbbz's #1 man. I was pretty critical of iDubbbz and Harley back in the day, and I still kind of am. I think that they handled that whole thing horribly, but you cannot deny that Harley had iDubbbz back during that entire thing. And he's definitely a big YouTuber, a name that everybody's going to recognize, although it's kind of iffy because he's using the name Harley Morenstein. I think last time in Creator Clash 2, people would talk about him and say Harley from Epic Mealtime, and I think that that might be better branding for them if they did that. Maybe he's trying to strike out on his own. And that brings us to the next lineup, Dad versus Jago. Now, if you don't know who Dad is, he just makes weird kind of esoteric videos pretending to be like a generic dad. This is very human type videos. It's not like he has a huge channel. I mean, he does have over 300,000 subscribers, but most of his videos don't do super well. But when he does have one that hits off, he gets a lot of views. So for instance, if you go to his more popular videos, his Creator Clash, his other ones that he fought in, he did music videos. Now, the guy he's fighting is Jago. Now, if you don't know who Jago is, I don't blame you because neither do I. He's a 7,000 subscriber YouTuber who has videos, but only 3 of them, and they're all over a year old. But he doesn't have many videos at all. He does have some shorts as well. I really don't understand who he is or why he's fighting a Creator Clash. It's kind of one of those who mega lols. Nobody really knows who he is. And if you do know, let me know in the comments. And to get off that weird choice, let's talk about the next lineup, The Odd Ones Out versus Will Neff. Now, if you don't know who The Odd Ones Out is, it's an animation channel. Most people will have probably heard of him because he has over 20 million subscribers. He is probably the biggest animation channel that I'm aware of. He just puts out animations and they all get tons of views. This is actually a really good fight because I think that a lot of people will go out to watch him. There is a question about whether or not the fact that he is an animator, will his fans care enough to go in real life and see who he is in real life and, you know, get to know him as a person as opposed to just an animation? And will they even be interested in seeing him fight? Do they see him as the type of person where they're a fan of his animation, but they're actually a fan of him? Or do they just think, oh, that's the guy who makes the animation, I don't need to watch him fight, I can just watch the animations he makes? It's kind of weird for somebody who doesn't publicly use their face as much to go out and do something that's so in person. I'm sure he knows better than I do what his fans like. He's fighting Will Neff. Now, Will Neff has 148,000 subscribers, but that doesn't do him justice because he does have a Twitch channel with over 500,000 followers. Now, Will Neff, again, I think is another good pickup for the Creator Clash. He's an up-and-coming creator, and he has a lot of viewers and a lot of people who actually really like him. Not exactly my type of creator. He's part of the, like, Hassan crew. I think you guys know how I feel about Hassan. The fact of the matter is, he is pretty popular. He does get a lot of viewers, and he gets a lot of live stream viewers. And live stream viewers, of course, kind of die hard, and they probably will want to watch the fight live. So he's a pretty good choice, I think. The next fight we're talking about is Jay Leray versus Ali Spagnolia. Now, if you don't know who they are, neither did I. And there's a reason for that. I mean, Jay Leray barely has any more subscribers than I do, which is crazy to think about. I guess I could have gotten the Creator Clash, and she puts up videos that have like 300 views. I really probably could have gotten the Creator Clash, guys. Should I try for Creator Clash 4? No, I mean, there's nothing wrong with her videos. I can't hate on somebody who's grinding it out just like I am. It's just kind of weird to see her involved with Creator Clash. I don't know why this random woman ended up getting into Creator Clash. Hey, I'm okay with it. I think it's fine. I also think that girl fights do attract an audience, and she's fighting Ali Spagnolia. Now, Ali Spagnolia is a name I recognize, but I don't really know from where. According to her Twitter bio, she does music, comedy, and fitness, and I think that that's pretty much what sums it up. I scrolled through her X earlier, and it's basically just fitness-related stuff and occasionally a music video. Nothing that really sticks out. I'm not exactly sure how relevant she is, because the fact that her name sticks out to me makes me think that she might have been really popular like back in the day, kind of like LABeast. I really can't tell. Like, I don't know who's diehard fans for Ali Spagnolia. I'm sure they exist, and I'm sure it's going to be great. But if you're wondering why they're having those two people fight, let me bring you to the next fight. It's a little bit strange too. We have somebody named Kevin Lerdwichigal fighting Myth. Now Kevin's YouTube channel does not use his full name. I don't know why they used it in the Creator Clash promotional material instead of using his YouTube channel, because he is actually a fairly big YouTuber. Under the name Glitch, he has 13 million subscribers, and he makes this kind of video. Now I don't know too much about Digital Circus. It seems like kind of a Zoomer thing, but I do know that it's very popular. I do see it around a lot. I see this character everywhere on Twitter, so I'm pretty sure that this guy's bringing in bank and that there is going to be a lot of people who will actually care to watch him fight. I think that he has a good audience, and I think that this is a good pickup for Creator Clash. Myth, on the other hand, well, he does have 4 million subscribers, and he is kind of a big name because he was big when Fortnite first got popular, and then I believe that he was one of the streamers who was like the premier person for Among Us. Yeah, for instance here, he's got a 1.4 million view Among Us video. Basically, he was one of the early Fortniters, early Among Us players, and he blew up from that. Now, more recently, he has not been doing as well. He's been having trouble finding his audience again since he kind of started to switch away from his old audience. I do think that he does have the name recognition that he could actually be pretty helpful to the Creator Clash, but I just don't know about his audience. He definitely has a bigger audience than some of the people, but I just really don't know what Myth brings to the card. The next card we're going to be talking about is somebody named Trevor Everts versus Ren. Now, who is Trevor Everts, you might be asking? Well, I was asking myself that too, because I have absolutely no idea who this guy is. He's another one of these YouTubers who only has 3 videos. He has 28,000 subscribers, so he's doing a little better than the other 3 video guy, Jago. Well, it turns out that he's not actually famous for his videos himself. He was on Smosh for a while, and he was on Mythical Kitchen, and I think he's been in some Good Mythical Mornings. He's not exactly a Humegalol, but he's not really famous for being himself. As far as I can tell, he's more famous because he's been part of other things. So I don't really know what he brings to the Creator Clash lineup. I'm looking forward to finding out. Ren, however, who he's fighting, is kind of a big YouTuber. He has over 213,000 subscribers, and he makes videos that are kind of, well, 3 years old. He has only uploaded 1 video this year. All of his other videos are over 3 years old. So while he is a popular YouTuber in the sense that he has 200,000 subscribers, it's not popular in the sense that I think anybody's going to know who he is, because I don't know who he is, and I'm pretty terminally online. After all, I do make videos on YouTube news and drama. So I don't know why this guy is on the Creator Clash card. It's just kind of a weird pick for them. But anyway, let's look at the last fight we have lined up for this year at the Creator Clash 3, and it is Freddie Wong versus Ginger Pale. Now, those are names that I have heard before, and that's because Freddie Wong is from Rocket Jump, a channel with 8.96 million subscribers. They do kind of like skit videos. However, you might notice something kind of weird. Very much like Ren from the last fight, Freddie Wong's channel, that's linked from Creator Clash, is also kind of inactive. The last post was 6 years ago. Now, he is a recognizable name. If we sort by popular, his The Floor is Lava video has over 155 million views. So there are people who know who he is. He does have name recognition. However, does he still have fans that are going to be willing to watch him box? I have no idea. Ginger Pale, however, might actually have some draw. He is a YouTuber with 1.93 million subscribers. And if you look at his channel, very similar to the Odd Ones Out, he is an animation channel. He's got a lot of views on his videos. He doesn't put up a ton of them because that's the nature of animation videos. However, I think that he is an active channel with 2 million subscribers, so I think he's a pretty good pickup for Creator Clash. Overall, if we take a look at the full lineup for Creator Clash here, if we take a look at the full lineup for Creator Clash 3, overall, I think Tubbo versus Sapnap is a huge draw. I think that that's a very good fight for them to have set up. I don't really know how they convince Tubbo and Sapnap to do it, but I think it'll be interesting, and I think they'll actually get a lot of fans. Lena Ied versus Frunky Frogbait, I think is kind of a poo type thing. I don't think it's a bad inclusion because I think that having women fight in a boxing match, I think that's always a good thing. I think that overall it's a good inclusion, but I just don't know who they are, and I think it would be better if they found female creators who were more relevant. Then let's go down to talk about LA Beast versus Harley Morenstein. I think that this is an old school matchup. I think that both of them are older YouTubers and that they both have name recognition, but it's kind of failing. I don't really know how many Zoomers are watching Epic Mealtime or LA Beast videos, but I do think that it has a draw, and I think that it importantly has a draw for the type of people who would have liked iDubbbz's older videos. So I think that this is a good inclusion solely for the fact that it's kind of nostalgia bait. Now, Dad versus Jago, I think that this is stupid. No offense, I know Dad's fought in Creator Clash before, and he's probably a good friend of iDubbbz, but it's just kind of a weird matchup, and nobody knows who Jago is, so why? They could cut this out and nobody would care. Odd Ones Out versus Will Neff, I think this is a pretty good fight. I think that Odd Ones Out and Will Neff are both pretty relevant creators who have big audiences that are devoted to them. I think that this is actually going to be really good for Creator Clash. Jay LeRae versus Ali Spagnolia, this is another fight that I think they could do without. I don't think they need to have it. And then Kevin Lerdwichigal versus Myth. Now, if you remember, Kevin Lerdwichigal is actually this guy Glitch, so he is a somewhat relevant creator, and so I can't really say that this is an irrelevant fight. I do kind of question why Myth is involved. I know that he's probably a good friend of iDubbbz, as he's fought in Creator Clash 2, so I think that, you know, he's kind of a legacy. I don't know if it really adds anything to this fight that Myth is in it, it, but it doesn't really detract either, so I guess it's a good fight. And then Trevor Everts versus Ren. Now, nobody knows who Trevor is. If you remember, he is the guy, he only has 3 videos and 28,000 subscribers. And Ren he's this guy who has a channel that has all videos that are 3 years old. I don't really know if anybody's gonna watch this fight. I don't think it adds anything. And then Freddie Wong versus Ginger Pale. Again, I think it's a weird matchup, and I don't really know why they're doing it. I guess Freddie Wong has some kind of name recognition. Again, I just question why they include this. My overall thoughts, though, are that the lineup is actually pretty good. I really was concerned that they wouldn't be able to get anybody to fight in Creator Clash 3 after the failure of Creator Clash 2. I mean, I would be kind of skeptical if I was a big creator and I was approached by iDubbbz to fight in this new Creator Clash after the last one was such a big scandal, but I think that he actually managed to pull it together, and that's good for him. I mean, iDubbbz needs to take a W every once in a while. So I'm actually kind of hopeful for Creator Clash 3. I mean, I was a Creator Clash 2 hater, and I'm not really a fan of the new iDubbbz content, and I think that he's kind of gone downhill. However, I can't fault him for this. I think that he actually did a good job here. For the most part, these are exciting fights, and that people will actually want to watch it, which means he did the one thing that he was supposed to do. He made the fights watchable, and because he thinks that the big problems with Creator Clash 2 were piracy and the lack of advertising, I think that the fact that he has some kind of big YouTubers, for instance, the Minecraft YouTubers, Tubbo and Satnap, on the card is actually going to be helpful, because they're going to be massive advertising vectors if he makes them talk about it. He has to make sure that they all post about it, and I think that if he does that, then the advertising problem is gone. The Minecraft stands on Twitter will go crazy for this. Let me know how you feel about this. Do you know any of these people, or were you sitting there going, who? Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching all the way till the end. Remember to like and subscribe. Have a great day, and God bless you.